They will call it luck. But do they even know what it cost you to survive? They will say you were in the right place at the right time, or that you were born with something they never had. What they will never see are the nights you spent alone with a restless mind, the early mornings when you woke up with nothing but a decision to keep going. They do not see the internal battles, the silent breakdowns, the effort it took just to stay calm when everything around you was falling apart. They will never know how often you had to be your own source of strength, not because you felt powerful, but because giving in was no longer an option. True power does not arrive with applause. It is not granted, inherited, or given. It is built slowly, layer by layer, in silence. It is forged in solitude, shaped by discomfort, and tested in the dark. You do not attract strength or peace by waiting for them. You become the kind of person they naturally follow. And when your mind is trained, truly trained, the world begins to respond. Not because of luck, but because something in you has changed. You start to radiate a presence that cannot be explained, and it cannot be ignored. This is not the kind of power that needs to be loud. It is calm, steady, immovable. It is made of invisible choices, unseen sacrifices, and uncelebrated victories. That is where transformation begins, not in the spotlight, but in the quiet moments where you chose to rise, again and again. So ask yourself, who are you becoming when no one else is watching? No one sees what you endured. They only see what you became. They do not see the mornings you woke up tired, overwhelmed, and full of doubt, but got up anyway. They do not see the thoughts you fought before anyone else opened their eyes. They do not feel the pressure you carried alone, or the strength it took to keep walking when nothing felt certain. And one day, when your presence begins to speak louder than your words, they will say it was luck. They will say you had something they did not. But they will never understand that your strength was built in the dark. It was not luck. It was not natural. It was earned through silence, shaped through repetition, and tested by days no one saw. Real power does not announce itself. It does not need witnesses. It holds steady. And when everything around you tries to shake you, it does not move. You do not need anyone to see what you carried, because the reward is not in their praise. The reward is becoming the kind of person who cannot be shaken. A trained mind does not chase motivation. It does not wait for permission, praise, or the perfect moment. It moves with clarity. It acts with intention, while others hesitate, hoping to feel ready. A trained mind begins. It does not rely on emotion. It is powered by identity. You do not build that kind of mind in one moment of inspiration. You build it through small, quiet repetitions, through the choices no one applauds. You wake up early, not to impress anyone, but to reconnect with your mission before the world interrupts. You sit with discomfort instead of avoiding it. You resist distraction. You simplify your focus. No one will reward you for doing what most avoid. No one will see the weight you carry. But those small decisions stack. They build something invisible but powerful. And slowly, you become someone who does not drift. Someone who acts without waiting. Someone who leads without speaking. Ask yourself, what are you practicing when no one is watching? Because every choice you make is either sharpening your focus or feeding your excuses. Over time, your habits become armor. Your thoughts become structure. Your energy shifts. And eventually the world responds. Not because you asked it to, but because you became someone it could not ignore. Most people are living out a story they never chose. They follow patterns they never questioned. They act out roles they did not write. And then they wonder why nothing changes. They call it fate, but fate is often just a mind repeating what it was never taught to challenge. Your identity is not something you discover. It is something you design, one decision at a time, one belief at a time, one habit at a time. Every thought you entertain either strengthens your direction or weakens your foundation. If you are not intentional, you will keep drifting in a story that does not belong to you. You are not here to follow, you are here to build. You are here to reclaim the pen. You are the architect. You remove what no longer fits. You reject the old standards. You strip away self-pity like poison. You stop asking the world for permission to be who you already are. So ask yourself, who taught you what to believe about yourself? And are those beliefs building you or breaking you? Because over time, the mind becomes a mirror of your choices, not shaped by chance but by design. Growth does not feel warm. It does not feel soft or safe. It feels like pressure pressing against the parts of you that no longer belong. It feels like friction between who you were and who you are becoming. Most people run from that tension. They mistake it for a problem. But that discomfort is not a stop sign. It is a signal. It is the exact moment where transformation begins, the place where your past self would have backed down, but now you stay. You lean in. You accept the pressure, not as punishment, but as the price of becoming someone new. Carl Jung once said that there is no coming to consciousness without pain. That pain carves wisdom. It builds patience. It refines your edge. The world will try to sell you ease. It will tempt you with shortcuts, with distractions, with silence when you should be speaking. But nothing real is built in comfort. Power is born under pressure. A trained mind does not fear pain. It uses it, it integrates it, it learns from it. So when the storm comes, do not resist it, let it shape you. Let it burn away what no longer serves you. Let it carve you into something solid. Suffering waits to be rescued. Strength keeps walking through the fire. And if you let it, pain will become your greatest teacher, not the one that shouts, but the one that chisels. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. The most powerful presence is often the quietest in the room. True strength does not come from noise. It comes from alignment. When your thoughts, your actions, and your values all move in the same direction, you become a force. You do not beg for attention. You do not ask for validation. You move with certainty. Most people wait for perfect conditions. They wait for clarity, for support, for a sign. But power does not wait. Power builds while no one is watching. It grows in stillness. It sharpens in solitude. It does not ask if the world is ready. It moves forward and lets the world catch up. So ask yourself, are your actions aligned with your words? Are your habits aligned with your vision? Because when they are, you no longer need to prove anything. Your presence becomes undeniable. You do not need to force the world to notice you. You only need to become someone it cannot ignore. That kind of presence speaks without sound. It commands without control. It holds steady while the rest of the world shakes. And it is built, one honest choice at a time. Everything begins and ends in the mind. Every shift in your life, every moment of clarity, every rise from darkness, starts with a decision made in silence. Most people wait for motivation. You do not. You move first. You act from intention. You create momentum through discipline. The more you align with who you are becoming, the less the world can pull you off course. This is not theory. This is the path of strength. You do not become powerful by accident. You do it through repetition, through clarity, through commitment to who you choose to be. The gap between who you are and who you could become is filled with small, unseen choices. Waking up early, saying no to distraction, staying focused when no one is watching, choosing the hard path when it would be easier to wait. That is where transformation lives. You are not here to be average. You are here to build something unshakable. So if this message speaks to you, do not stay passive. Take action now. Subscribe to this channel. This is only the beginning. And if you are ready to train your mind until power follows you, then make the choice that most people never do. Decide. And begin today.